G'day, Stu here with another Tech Tuesday video where every Tuesday we get together, we talk about some new, different or just exciting technology in the FPV drone racing world. And today, well, we've got a lap timer from Immersion RC. So this one's for you race pilots out there. I've been wanting to check this out for a long time and it's actually been out. I can't believe it's taken me so long to actually getting around to reviewing it. I've been having a lot of fun with it, but what this essentially is, this is a way to track how fast you're getting on the track. You put it down, it times your laps, and the beauty about it is it can work with like multiple pilots, so that's what it's meant to do anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to quickly stick onto the bench because it's super simple to use. We'll have a quick squiz at the app and then we're going to take it out and I'm going to do a few flyings and have a look at how this thing actually works in the field recording your laps. Alright, let's do it. Alrighty, so here's the smoke alarm here's the lap timer on the bench. Great joke there, Stuart. Here's the lap timer on the bench and I've got to admit it does look pretty much like a smoke alarm, but essentially it's a very simple unit. What it's used for, it times your laps and there's only really two buttons on the back. One of them you don't even touch, so it's got your power button here, and then the only other bit for the batteries, what we've got, it just takes these 18650s, so that's a 2600 milliamp hour one that comes in there. So pop that in there, ready to rock and roll. That battery should last a very, very long time in this thing, and essentially that's it. That's the unit. We don't need to weigh it because you just throw it on the ground. It can connect by Wi-Fi or by Bluetooth. There's no crazy bells or whistles or anything like that because the setup is meant to be really, really easy. It's got some different colored LEDs to give you some information, but what we do need, we need to load it up and connect it to our app on our phone. But let's have a quick squiz at the app here, so I'll link this down below as well. But essentially this is your app, so you can see here you've got all your different pilots, and what this thing can do, it can do more than one pilot, which is pretty cool. But the faster you go and the more pilots you have, the less, I guess, accuracy that you're going to have. You're going to get some overlap and stuff like that, and depending on the power level, all those sorts of parameters can change it. Now essentially what we've got here, I've only got one pilot on. This is when you want to actually start your race. If we go to the LF set, if we go to the timer setup, this is probably the most important screen. What you actually need to do, so I'm racing on the F band, I'm on channel 2, tells me my frequency, I tell it my power level. If I wanted to put on, say, Trevor's channel, so he was flying around, I know Trevor flies on the E2, there we go, so he flies around on, I think that's Cal's band actually, 5685, so then that would be ready to pick up both of us as we fly over the top of this, or that's the plan, or how it's meant to work anyway. If we click here you can choose if you want to do Bluetooth, connecting it to your phone, all that sort of jazz, or whether you want to do Wi-Fi. You've got some race delays, how long you want to start from the start of the tone, or when you go through the first gate, or whether you're just practicing, do an actual official race, or any of that sort of jazz. So look, I'll put a link down below anyway to some more nitty gritty, but essentially look, what I want to do, I want to get out, fly around and find out, look, the main part, can I test my laps, how accurate is it, how reliable is it? So let's do that now. This part's self-explanatory, we'll put that to the side. Let's jump out to the field, rip it around and see it in action in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so that was it on the bench for the Tech Tuesday, but now let's check it out in the field, see if it works like it's meant to. I'm pretty interested, I'm pretty excited because I'm all about getting those lap times, just smashing them down. So let's check out the Immersion RC lap timer. So we're going to set it up, rip it around and see how it goes.
Ready when you are, mate. I'm starting now.
Okie dokie, so here we go. I guess I'll talk us through the this part of the course until we go over the lap timer, and that's when I'll just zip it up and you guys can listen to the robotic voice that's calling it out. Right, we're flying the America here, and I think this is going to be great for pilots who really want to improve their lap times. I want to know where they're quickest, all that sort of stuff.
Do 18.79.
There we go, so first lap 18.79. And look, the speaker was nice and loud when you're flying around, you could definitely hear it. I think if you were flying really close to yourself though, your quad might overpower it, but because there's like a small delay when you go over the, I guess, the timer to when it actually calls it out.
Do 17.41.
You might not notice that too much, or you can find a bit of a workaround. Now, one problem we did have, we tried to test this a little bit later. This is one time when it was working, but sometimes it could be, we're really putting the power on there, sometimes it could be a little bit finicky when you're trying to connect it up.
Do 16.45.
When you're trying to connect up via Bluetooth, sometimes it would want to join to the phone, other times it wouldn't, almost ate the grass there. And then another thing as well, if you had multiple pilots on here, which we did try to do, it was picking up different laps for different people, and
Do 16.48.
And because it was picking up, it was getting some of the laps confused. So I don't think it's made for, like, if you're a club and you want to time everyone, all that sort of stuff, it's going to be a little bit difficult using just this one system. It'll be great for some tiny whoops and stuff, but it does stipulate that in the instructions.
Do 16.48.
finishing it off there. But yeah, it does stipulate that, look, if you're going to be using some really fast, high-powered quads, like some of these 5 inches and how fast they go, it's not quite as accurate. So I think it's definitely made for like one or two pilot showdown. But if you're putting more than that, it's going to be a little bit more problematic and definitely not nearly as accurate. But overall, a very, very fun little tool, especially if you're flying around by yourself and you just want to push it and get quicker and quicker.
So you can see my lap times there. It's interesting, you know, I was getting a bit quicker. And then these last ones, they were pretty bang on. Those lap times are very 16:45, 16:48, and then exactly the same 16:48. So that's some consistency there once the battery had settled down. Alrighty, so there it is. There's my Tech Tuesday quick look at Immersion's RC RF lap timer. I'm going to link it down below. There are some others I want to check out as well, things that do them even better. And I think for a race pilot out there, you want to track your laps. This is the sort of technology we want in the field. Makes it very, very easy. You know, you put it down, you press a button, it's easy to configure, and it works. Now look, was it perfect? I'm going to say no. When we tried to set this thing up with multiple pilots, it was detecting different frequencies, all that sort of stuff. And sometimes, you know, when I was using my phone or using Cal's iPad, it was a little bit frustrating. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. So the footage you saw was one of the times that it did work, and then we tried to go back and do it again and replicate it with some more pilots in the air at once, and it sort of wasn't having a good a time. So look, maybe you'll have better luck with it. For me, if I was just one pilot flying around, I think this thing's going to be a lot of fun, and it is going to help you improve your skills and just see how much quicker you're pushing it on the race course. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Drop some comments down below. What do you think about the lap timer? Is it the sort of technology that you take out to the field and use? Subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAV Futures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.